Hi all, good morning. Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Uh, my name is Vidya Shekhar. I'm working as a test architect. I have around 16 years of experience in IT. And today's session is mainly about to give an overview of Tosca, how this tool is becoming popular in the market, what are the job opportunities of this tool, and what are the advantages or what are the benefits you get over Selenium. Like we are going to compare this tool with a popular tool which is already available in the market, which is it is called Selenium, and we'll proceed. So before proceeding further, just I would like to understand the background. So I'm expecting like most of the people are already aware of the manual testing concepts, and some of them may want to change from manual testing to automation, or some of them want to convert from Selenium to Tosca. I'm expecting this would be the background of the members who are attending this course. Just I would like to know about your background so that it will be easy for me to tune according to your requirements. Okay. Before we start, can you introduce yourself, John? Like, uh, are you working or are a student? If you're working, in where are you working, and what is the expectations from this course? Are you? I think you are on mute, John. Can you check once? Okay. Let's go to one more person, Mahinder. Mahinder, can you tell me what are you doing and what are the expectations from this course? Hope my voice is audible. Okay. Next, let's go to Neeraj. Can you hear me, Neeraj? No response. Is my voice audible? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. So my question is very simple. What are you doing right now, and what are the expectations from this course? Just I want to understand that point, and before I proceed further.
Uh, I would introduce, would like to give an introduction of myself. I am Pratyusha. I have 5 years of experience in non-IT. I would like to transition to IT. So,
Mhm. Okay, good. What about Sujit Kumar?
Yeah, myself Sujit Kumar. I have a 5.5 years of experience in automation testing.
Hmm.
Yeah, actually previously worked on embedded testing.
Okay.
So currently I'm migrated to software testing. So
Mhm. Okay, good. What about Supriya? Okay, fine. So I'm assuming that you are very new to testing and you don't have any idea about testing. And I will tell you the roadmap, like how should you start if you want to choose testing as a career. Okay, this is the course content. You can collect this course content from the institute. They'll be sharing you the course content. We'll be discussing all these components as part of this course. The course duration is around 35 hours of time, and it is for 5 days a week, every day 1 hour. Okay, it is generally in the morning time. And now coming to the introduction about Tosca. Okay, hope you are able to see my screen. Fine. See, basically, in order to understand testing, you should understand the software development lifecycle model. Okay, what are the different methodologies which companies are using in order to develop a software? Okay, can you tell me what are the two types of companies which are available in the market? for example, Microsoft and if you consider TCS, what are these companies called?
Service-oriented companies and broad-based companies.
Product-based companies, correct. If you look at Microsoft, right? Microsoft is a product-based company, whereas if you consider TCS or Infosys, these are called as service-based companies. So what is the difference between product-based companies and service-based companies is product-based companies will target multiple customers. Okay, multiple customers. For example, nobody is going to ask them to come to develop this requirement. Okay, they are going to analyze the market. They are going to analyze the market and what are the common challenges which are faced in the market, and what are the common challenges which are faced in the market, and they'll try to provide a solution to that particular market. The example is your Windows operating system. Okay, the other example is, for example, from Google, right? You have your Google Maps. Nobody has asked Google to develop the Google Maps software. Okay, they have identified the problem and they have come up with a solution, and there are many customers who are using Google Maps. Similarly, you have Gmail. Gmail is something like where it is used to send information from one person to another person, right? And coming to services companies like TCS, Infosys, they have a customer. They have a single end customer. For example, if you look at the banking, right, like SBI and ICICI are the customers of TCS. Okay, fine. So once you develop the software, so every customer will have their own requirements. Just give me a minute. Every customer will have their own requirements. And for example, let's say ICICI Bank is there. ICICI Bank want to introduce some new features into their banking domain. Like they want a feature called as mobile update. Okay. The customer can directly do a mobile update, or the customer can do a address change. He need not visit the bank. Directly he can log in online and he can do the address change. So customer will come with a requirement. Software company will be developing the requirement which is given by the customer, and they deliver the product to the client. Okay, this is how it is going to happen. Before they deliver the product to the client, right, it has to be tested. Okay, the two testing will happen twice. Okay, internally it will be tested. For example, there is a contract between TCS and ICICI Bank. Okay, so testing will happen within TCS and also within ICICI Bank. Let's say, for example, development will happen only once, but testing may happen twice. Okay, let's say this is a company called as TCS. It is providing its services to ICICI Bank. Okay, this is a TCS and it is providing services to ICICI Bank. Okay, so one thing you need to understand here, we forget about Tosca, forget about automation. I'm trying to understand how important the testing it is, and why should we go for automation, and in automation why should you choose Tosca. Now there are different levels of testing. Actually, when you are working, right, there are different levels of testing, which is something it is called as unit testing, module testing, system testing. Okay, and you also have integration testing. And here you have something called as UAT testing, user acceptance testing. So any idea from anybody what is unit, module, system integration, and user acceptance testing? Any idea from any of the members who are part of this meeting? Any idea? Okay, fine.
Yeah, unit testing is testing on every unit of the model.
Okay, testing on every unit of the module. Okay, good, fine. Anybody else? won't understand. Let's say I have a requirement. Okay, let's say I have a requirement. First requirement is address change. Okay, I'm talking about the banking. First requirement is address change. Second requirement is name change. Name change also happen, right? Once you get married, your name will get updated. Second requirement is name change. Third requirement is telephone number change or mobile number change. Mobile number change. Okay. Let's take this scenario. Now these are the three requirements, and development team TCS started working on these three requirements. So what they are doing is, as part of address change or name change or mobile number, right? You will be writing some piece of code. Okay, you will be writing some piece of code. Okay, you will be writing some code here. Okay, this code has to be tested. So what does unit testing means? As part of address change, you are going to create one function. Okay, as part of address change, you are going to create one function, and if you are testing only this function, right, then it comes under unit testing. Okay, and what do you mean by module testing? Module testing means if you are combining all these modules. Okay, if you are combining all these functionality and creating one module called as customer updates. Okay, and testing together, this is called as module testing. And what do you mean by system testing means? System testing is nothing but you are testing the system as a whole. Means you will be testing all these modules under Chrome browser. Okay, and you will be testing it under Windows operating system. The same thing you will be testing it under Mac operating system and Safari browser. This comes under system testing. And what do you mean by integration testing? Integration testing means you are testing multiple subsystems. What do you mean by multiple subsystem means? Let's say this is the customer module, right? Whenever you're doing a name change, the name change should be updated in customer information. Okay, the same information should be also updated in other systems. What are those other systems? For example, you will have a billing system. Okay, for all the whenever you want to make some payments, you have the billing system. Whenever the customer is making a change in the mobile number, it should be updated in the billing system. You also have something called as accounting system, of where every transaction will be tracked in accounting system. And let's say you have one more system called as LMS, which is nothing but your letter management system, where you are going to send a letter to the customer or an email to a customer saying that this is the notification you have recently made a update. Okay, letter management system. Similarly, you have one more system called as DMS, which is nothing but document management system. So once you want to update your mobile number or address change, you will be giving one address proof, right? So these need to be maintained and tracked properly in the central system, right? So for that, you will be having a DMS. So whenever there is a update of a particular customer, the relevant system should be tested. This is called as integration testing. Okay, and what do you mean by UAT? What do you mean by UAT means customer will also test. Okay, because you are not going to test the application using customers real data, right? You'll be using some dummy data for testing. So customer is going to also perform some testing before accepting the software from the service company. So as a test engineer, you should know all this information. It is not related to Tosca, but you should know the background. The base should be very strong in order to work on any automation tool. Is this clear what I'm explaining till here?
Yes.
Okay, good. So whenever you are testing, whenever you are testing, right, a piece of code, you will be whenever you're testing a piece of code, right, you will be either a part of module testing or system testing, integration testing, or UAT. You will not be a part of integration test, unit testing. This you will not be testing it. This will be taken care by the development team. Okay, good. Now Now, what do you mean by manual testing? Anyone can say, what do you mean by manual testing? Yes. Any idea about just whatever you know you can discuss. I want this session to be interactive. I don't want this session to be passive, so that I only talk. And this is not the way you make success in the corporate world. It should be interactive. It should be a discussion. It should not be like like a college class. So whatever you know about testing, you tell me. Before going to testing, right? I also want to discuss about. Uh, Before going to manual testing, I also want to discuss about testing. What do you mean by testing? First of all, anybody can answer this question.
Testing means like you have some desired information. You will just test whether you're having the desired information or not. Basically,
Okay,
whatever we are meeting up
correct.
to the.
Okay, fine, got it. So what you mean to say it? Let's say, so take a simple example. You are purchasing a mobile phone. Okay, as a customer, when you are purchasing a mobile phone, right, you will also test that the phone, right? You will play a video and check the video quality. You'll play a song and check the sound quality. You'll take a picture and check the camera quality. Yes or no? You'll make a call and check whether the basic features are working properly or not. This is what you do, right? Okay. So here, what is a requirement for taking a picture? So basically, whenever you take a picture, that should come properly. This is a requirement. So you are going to perform some action. Okay, you are going to perform some action on the application, and you are going to compare the result. Okay, so wow, expected value is what you are thinking. Okay, so let's say whenever let's say I'm taking a simple bank, logging into the Gmail, okay, which everybody is aware of. So whenever you enter your username and password successfully, you should log into the Gmail application, right? So what is the expected behavior? A valid user and valid password. Click on submit button. It will take you to the Gmail. This is the expected value. And what is actually when you perform the same operations on the web browser, you enter your username and password and observe the output, right? That is called as the actual value. So what do you mean by testing? Means comparing the actual value and expected value. Okay, if both are matching, then you pass that particular test case. If they are failing, then you create a defect for it, for that particular test case. Okay, I hope you know what you mean by a test case. Now, what is your job? What is your job as a test engineer? Means you need to identify the defects in the application. That is the main purpose of testing. Why should the organization pay you money? They are paying you money because you are identifying the defects early, before the customer identifies them, before the application is released in the market. Okay, your job is, you need to identify the defects and isolate the defects. Isolate the defects means you have to categorize the defect. This is of high severity defect, this is of a medium severity defect, and this is of a low severity defect. You need to categorize the defect and you have to report the defect. This is your main job. Okay, in order to do this, some people will go with manual testing approach and some people will go with automation testing approach. So what do you mean by manual testing approach? A human being, a person will be sitting in front of an application. He'll be performing some activities. For example, a Gmail login. He'll enter your username. He'll enter the password. Click on submit button, and then once he log in, he'll take a screenshot of it. He compares with the requirement screenshot. When both are passing, right, he says it is pass. Okay, and see, now manual testing is a tedious activity. Why it is a tedious activity means, for example, if Google want to release this Gmail software, right, it has to be tested on multiple operating systems like Windows, Mac, and Windows, Mac, and Linux operating system, and it also has to be tested on multiple browsers. Okay, like Chrome browser, IE browser, Firefox browser, Opera browser, so on. Not only browsers, it has to be tested on multiple versions of browsers. Correct, and also it has to be tested on a mobile phone and it has to be tested on a laptop. So in order to test these things manually, either you have to employ more number of resources, or you will be taking more time, or you will be taking more time in order to perform this activity. So one of the key success to the market is faster delivery. So if you observe, right, it's not only you have a business idea and you want to convert that business idea into some value into the market, right? It's not only delivering that particular software, but also you should be in a position to deliver the software faster. For example, if you look at here, if you are into the stock market or the trading company, right? See, basically the one who releases the software first into the market, right? He'll be getting more customers. He'll be getting more. For example, let's take WhatsApp and Telegram. Okay, the one who released a software first in the market has more number of users, right? WhatsApp will have more number of users when compared to Telegram. Do you agree with this point? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
because why there are more users in WhatsApp when compared to Telegram is WhatsApp was released in the market first. The idea came into the market first, and Telegram has more powerful features when compared to WhatsApp. So the timing and delivery to the market is also very important. So in order to fasten the delivery to the market, you have to automate your processes, whether it is code automation, whether it is test automation, or whether it is deployment automation, right? You have to depend on some some third party tools. One is the pricing. Okay, one is pricing, second is timing. Okay, these two are very important, and you have to deliver faster into the market. Now, what do you mean by automation testing? Means you are not going to execute the test cases. Okay, you are not going to execute the test cases. The machine or a tool is going to execute the test cases and they'll be replacing execution part by a machine rather than by a test engineer. Okay, what are the advantages of doing this? The advantage is quality would be high, and you can reliable, the results would be always consistent, and also and it can work at 24 by 7. Okay, it can work 24 by 7. So you can depend on any tool, you can depend on any tool which is available in the market. It's not that you should depend on only Tosca or on any particular tool. Okay, I hope you are getting some knowledge. Okay, why should, and why should we go for automation? As I said, basically like some people, like there may be some errors if a person is working on it, and also the execution speed will be comparatively less. So what automation does is it will increase your execution speed, accuracy, and you can also execute test in parallel, like rather than running test one after the other, right? If you're having 5 systems, you can run 5 systems in parallel. So these are the advantage, and you'll be helping in identifying the defects faster, so that developers can also fix it faster, and you can release this into the market. Is it are you able to follow what I'm saying? Yes,
Yes.
no?
Yes. It's clear. Yes.
Clear, right? Now there are many tools which are available in the market. Okay, so why should I learn Tosca? Selenium is there in the market, UFT or QTP is there in the market, or Tosca is also available in the market, right? So why should I learn Tosca? This is the first question. So it's a simple thing, right? When you people are purchasing some phone, right, you will also think, right, like why should I buy uh, iPhone, or why should I buy Samsung only? Or when you're joining an engineering college or any college, right, you will also think, why should I join this college? What are the benefits of joining this college? Or why should I join this company? What are the benefits of joining? You will also compare, right? Similarly, we will also compare, why should you learn Tosca? First of all, the cost wise. If you're comparing the cost, right, Tosca is a vendor tool. Okay, vendor tool means it is developed by some organization. The name of the organization is called as Tricentis. Okay, the name of the organization is called as Tricentis. This company has developed Tosca. Okay, this company has multiple products. Okay, this company Tricentis has multiple products. Under test automation, they have a product called as Tricentis Tosca, and for performance also they have a tool called as Neoload. And for test management, they have Qtest. Like this, they have multiple products. So before that, you should understand the difference between functional testing and performance testing. Anybody can tell me what is the difference between functional automation or functional testing and performance testing? Any idea? It, any example you can give. It need not be any textbook definition or the net, whatever you understand between functional testing and performance testing. Let me know. Let me know.
In performance testing, we can measure the response time
Response
and
time.
load.
Very good. Yes.
Coming to functional testing, we can test as per the user requirements. We can test the functional part of the application.
Correct. Correct. See, basically, let's take the Amazon website. Okay. If you take the Amazon website, right? Uh, what is the purpose of this website? You can purchase products across the globe, right? Maybe you can consider across India because they are restricted to the country level itself. Okay. Using Amazon, you can purchase any software from any place in India if you are if you are accessing it from India, right? So let's say I'm purchasing a particular product. Let's say I'm purchasing a mobile phone. So what Amazon will do? You can browse all the available mobile phones. Okay, you can select a particular phone, and you make a payment. Okay, you make a payment, and once you provide the shipping address, right, the phone will be delivered to you. This is the end-to-end business flow, right, of Amazon.com. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yeah. Now, if any of this functionality fails, then total system will fail, right? For example, you have selected a phone, but they have sent you some other phone. You have selected iPhone, they have sent you Samsung. Then the functionality is missing. So they should send you whatever phone you have selected. Okay. And the second thing is, if the shipping address is not saved properly, okay, then it will go to some other person, correct? And let's say the pricing, let's say they are applying some discount. If the discount is not calculated properly, then there will be huge loss to the organization, right? So what do you mean by functional testing is you are going to check whether the application is behaving as per the expectations or not. Whenever I'm selecting a mobile phone, whether the proper phone is selected or not. Okay, whenever I'm giving the shipping address, the shipping address is saved properly or not. This is nothing but functional testing. Now what do you mean by performance testing means, see, Amazon server will never be down. Okay, why it will never be down? Thousands of people will try to access the application. Okay, when thousands of people are trying to access the application, right, the performance would be consistent, right? There will be no change in the performance. Why it is possible is background, the architecture is a very huge complex architecture. There is something called as they install some load balancers. Whenever you send a request, right, the request will go to the nearest server. Okay, so that the load on the server is manageable. Okay, and there is a difference. There is a difference when you are accessing, when 100 people are trying to access the application simultaneously in purchasing a product, and when 10 people are trying to access the application. It's very simple. If someone asks you to work for 10 hours continuously, your quality would not be same, right? If a person is
Yes.
asking you to work for 4 hours, then okay, you can manage it, quality you can maintain it. But when you are working for 10 hours continuously, right, then your quality will come down. So as a performance test engineer, what is your role is, you need to ensure the breakpoint till how many number of users the application will work successfully without any degrade in the performance. Okay, that is completely different concept, but the reason I'm explaining you these things is, nowadays in the market the expectations from the organizations are very high. They are expecting the person should know automation, the person should know manual, and he should also know performance testing. Okay, and the expectation is that they should know UI automation, API testing, and DB testing. All these are the expectations from the organization, and we need to go as per the expectations of the organization only. Okay, so there are many tools, many products from Tosca, sorry, Tricentis, but we
Sorry to interrupt.
yeah, tell me.
You just said something, right? UI, AP,
Sorry,
what?
UI is nothing but user interface testing. Means in any application, if you are taking, right, that
Mm.
comes under UI testing,
Okay, what about the other one?
API
AP?
testing. API.
API means?
API means application programming interface. I'll show you 1 minute.
Okay.
So what this Tricentis has done, they have given us some sample application to test. Okay,
Oh,
you need not worry about developing or deploying something. They have given some sample application to test. So if you look at here, first thing you have to do is you have to do registration, right? So this
mm.
is called as UI testing. What do you mean by UI testing? Without entering any data, if I click on submit button, whether I'm getting the required messages or not. Okay, this is called as UI testing. Are you able to follow what I'm saying?
Yes, yes,
Okay, so once I enter my data, okay, then that message should go on, should not be displayed, correct?
yes.
Okay, so this is called as UI testing.
Okay.
What do you mean, by API testing? Can anybody tell what do you mean by API testing?
It's an application programming interface, when the connection between we are doing between two applications, they do the testing how the applications are getting integrated or not.
Hmm, okay, okay. Now I'll give you one real-time example so that it will be very easy for you people to understand. There is one website called as ClearTrip. Okay, there is one website called as ClearTrip where you can book the flights. Okay,
Yeah.
you can book the flights, right? For example, I want to select it from Hyderabad, okay, to Delhi. Okay, let's say I want to give the date as 10th. Fine, I want to give the date as 10th. Click on search flights. See, you got some results. Okay, you got some
Yes.
results. You got results from Go First. You also got results from SpiceJet, Indigo like this, and AirAsia. From multiple Vistara, you got results from multiple flight agencies, right?
Yes.
Yes or no? And if you observe, each vendor has come at a different point into the market. Means the date of joining or date of operations of Go First may be different from SpiceJet. It can be different from Indigo. Yes or no? They have, they
Yes.
have established their organizations at different years. When I
Yes.
say they have established their organizations at different years, their softwares also would be different. Okay, so the softwares also, there some may be using old softwares like let's say COBOL, or they will be using, and the person who started recently, right, they may be working on .NET or Salesforce. Yes or no? The softwares will be different. And but one thing if you observe here, whenever I'm sending a request, I'm getting response from multiple vendors. Okay, these are called as vendors, right? For me, Go First is one vendor, SpiceJet is one vendor, Indigo is one vendor. Now here the question is how they are able to communicate, and everything is real time, right? So whenever I'm trying to book a flight from Indigo Airlines, it should hit the Indigo database and it should book a ticket for me. I hope you know what you mean by a database. Database is
Yeah,
nothing
yeah.
but a storage area where you are going to store your information and
Data.
retrieve it fast. Rather than storing it in a file, a Excel file or a Word document, you are storing data in a table in a form of a database. Okay. Now, if you observe properly, the communication should take place between two different systems. Like, for example, your website ClearTrip should interact with Go First, Indigo, and SpiceJet, right? And they may be developed in different programming languages, right? Go First programming language may be C Sharp, and Indigo programming language may be Java, and let's say ClearTrip programming language may be Python. It can be, right, because they are from different organizations, different levels, timelines they have started the company. No, so in order to communicate between multiple applications, right, you have to send the data in a one standard format. Okay, this
Okay.
format is called as a REST or SOAP. Okay, this
Rest.
format is called REST, REST, REST. Let me open REST or SOAP. Okay, REST and
Okay.
SOAP. If you look at this,
Okay.
okay, there are different ways of sending data. There are different ways of sending. Can you please go on mute if you are okay? So basically, what do you mean by REST application? Mean this REST application is built using XML files. Actually, this is not our topic, but I want to give you overall idea on the software testing. Okay, this is developed using XML format. Okay, this is developed using XML format, and coming to sorry, SOAP is developed using XML format. I'm sorry, my bad. SOAP is developed using XML format, and REST is developed using JSON format. REST is developed using JSON format. So this is how a SOAP request will be. Okay, you are sending an information from one application to another application in this format. Okay, you are sending like this format. It will interact with the other application and will give you the response in this format only, in XML format only. SOAP means XML format. REST means JSON format. Okay, try to understand this. And REST example JSON. This is XML. See, if you are sending information like this, right, this is called as JSON. Okay, JSON format. Okay, JavaScript object notation. So as a tester, right, either you'll be working on UI automation, that is, you'll open a web browser and start testing it, or you'll be working on API testing. They will be giving you some XML or a what you say a JSON file. This is the technical term they use here. It calls a payload. They will give you a payload, and you have to test that payload for some response. Okay, when you send a request, you get a response. A response is of two types. One is called as the status code. Another one is called as status message. Okay, 200 is called as the status code, which is a successful message, and message would be like something like your operation has been performed successfully. Such type of things you have to capture. This is the second story. Third one is DB DB testing. DB testing means what? Let's say you are working for a retail industry. Let's say DMart. DMart is there. Everybody is popular about DMart, right? DMart has multiple branches across India. Yes or no? Agree? Disagree? Hello? Can you hear me? Yeah. DMart has multiple branches, right? So they want to understand. They want to understand which product is being purchased by the customers. Okay, and they want to do that analysis. That will be taken care by the DB testing. Just please go on mute. Someone, there is some noise from the background. Please go on. Maybe John. Okay, this is about DB testing. If you are doing some analysis, if you want to identify which organization, which like for example, if you go to visit DMart, right, you will be getting products from multiple organizations. Like you will be getting products from Unilever, right? If you take a biscuit, right, you will be having different types of biscuits, right? DMart want to analyze this how many people are purchasing a particular biscuit like Britannia biscuit. Okay, they want to analyze it, and they will only purchase that stock. They'll not. not purchase other stock. It's a loss for them, right? So once you buy something from the vendor, and if you are not able to sell that product, right, it is a loss to the demand. So that analysis part will come under TB testing, or building the reports. So hope you are clear on, as a tester, your job is to compare the actual value with the expected value, and you will be part of anything, any of these three. One is API, UI, API, or DP testing, right? Now, why should you learn Tosca? Next, I'm coming directly to the point. Why why should you learn Tosca? Means, if you are dependent on Selenium, if you are depending on Selenium, right? Selenium supports only web-based testing. Okay, you can test only a web application using Selenium. Let's say if you observe most of the big organizations, if you go and observe the billing systems of DMart, or if you observe the billing systems of more supermarket, right, they use a software which will not be web. Okay, and most of the time it would be SAP software only. Okay, if you want to test a SAP application, then Selenium will not support. If you want to test a web-based application, Selenium will not support. If you want to test an API application, Selenium will not support. So industry is looking for a tool which supports all type of applications, because because if you if you're not having a tool which supports all type of application, and if you're having for web, you are having one tool, for Windows you are having one tool, right? You have to hire people for each technology, right? For testing Windows application, you have to hire one tester. For testing web application, if you have to hire one tester. But if you select a tool which supports all the technologies, then the same resources would be working, right? Resource management would be easy or not? Yeah, yes or no? Agree, agree,
Yes.
disagree? So
Yes.
using Tosca, you can test up to 300 plus technologies. That is the benefit. Why Tosca is becoming popular in the market is, you can test close to 300 types of applications using Tosca. Next thing is, what is a framework? So whenever you attend any automation testing interview, the first question, or you'll not have any interview without this question: can you talk about the framework which you are working on? This would be the basic question. So if you're working on Selenium, right, you have different frameworks like page object model, hybrid model. Okay, uh, you have data driven models, and it takes a lot of time and effort in developing the framework. What Tosca is telling is, you do not spend time on developing the framework. I will give you the framework, use it. Okay, this framework is called as model based framework. Tosca follows a framework called as model based framework. Okay, whereas when it comes to Selenium, right, you have to create a framework on your own. And if you look at testing, right, or anybody who want to make an entry into this software industry, they hate coding. They don't want to write code. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes, correct. So, and if you're also looking at the BAs, oh, you know who is a BA, business analyst? Any idea what is their role in the organization? Business analyst role in the
Yeah,
organization.
yeah. He gather the requirements from the customer.
Correct. See, basically, see, whatever you are writing, whatever script you are developing, right, that will be according to the requirement only, right? Yes. So finally, while giving a demo, right, you may be available or you may be not be available, right? A tester will generally not give a demo to the client. Business analyst only will give a demo to the client. So if the script is readable format, if the script is developed without learning any code, right, then BA can give the demo very easily, right? Yes or no? Agree? If you are
Yes.
writing a Java script, if you are writing a Java code and asking to BA to explain the functionality, they may find it difficult to understand. Or let's say the client also will find it difficult to later refer to it. Again, they need to employ one more technical person to understand and run that script. So in order to minimize all this overhead and cost, right, Tosca is one tool which has no scripting. No scripting means only architect level you will have scripting. What do you mean by architect level? You will have scripting means if you let's say you are trying to test an application and there is one calendar control on that particular application. Okay, and using Tosca, if you are not able to identify a control, then only you have to write a code. But 99% of the times you will identify the controls which using Tosca. So when you talk about coding, right, you have only 5% coding in Tosca, 95% is no code. That is the main advantage. When you say no code, right, it is faster to develop. What are the drawbacks of manual testing? Manual testing also there is no code, but for every environment you need a resource to execute it, right? Means you need a resource to execute it on Windows operating system with Chrome browser. You need a resource to execute it on Windows operating system with Safari browser or IE browser, right? So they have taken the advantage of both the things. So what is the advantage of automation? Once you write a script, you can execute it anytime, but you should know the scripting there. What is the advantage of manual? Without knowing any code, you can test it. They have taken the best of both the things and combined it and developed this code called as Tosca. That is the reason why this is becoming very popular in the market. Okay, and as I told, API testing, right? API testing is also possible with Tosca. And the second thing is test data management. What do you mean by test data management? Mean as part of testing, data is very important, right? You need to test with valid data. You need to test with invalid data. You need to have something called as happy path testing. Okay. Now, in order to do this, you have to store test data in some location. It can be an Excel file, it can be a JSON file, it can be a database, right? So all these features are available. There is a separate concept called as TDM, test data management service. Okay, there is a separate section called as TCD. Okay, there is a separate section called as TCD. Let me open it here. For example, we'll discuss later about this tool, but I'm telling you the why should we go for Tosca. I'm not telling you how to use this tool. I'm only telling why should we go for Tosca. There is a section called as test case design where you are this is going to take care of the test data management. Got it? So these are the why should you go for Tosca means these are the features which are supported by Tosca. Exploratory testing. Okay, dedicated support, CI integration and Jira integration. I'll tell you what you mean by this. Exploratory testing means, see, sometimes you will not have a requirement. BA will not be available in the company. It is a migration project. What do you mean by migration project? Any idea what do you mean by migration project? Yes, no. Migration means what? English meaning of migration?
Moves from one place to other based
Moves
on
from
the
one place.
seasons.
Correct. Moves from one place to another. Migration project means, what is the meaning in IT industry means you are migrating, you are moving from old system to new system. You are moving from old technology to new technology. Let's take a simple thing. When you in your home, right, you change your phone for every 2 to 3 years. Yes or no? You are migrating to a new system or not? Okay.
Yes.
And let's take a TV. You change the TV if for every 10 years, something like that, right? So what do you mean by migration in IT industry? Basically, when it comes to banking, right? All banking softwares are 30 years old softwares. Okay, they are developed using mainframe systems. Okay, mainframe systems they have been developed. Now they want to migrate to. You will be seeing this word common in the when you're talking to IT people, right? We are moving to cloud. Have you seen this word? We are
Yes,
migrating to
yes,
cloud, or we are moving to cloud. Okay, when
yes.
it comes to cloud, we have this AWS. Okay, we have this Azure, we have this GCP, which is Google Cloud. No, what do you mean by migrating to cloud means there are two things can happen when you are migrating, right? Your application is divided into two parts. One is front end and other one is back end. Okay, now if you are generally people will focus on the back end only. Why? Because data is important, right? Without data, what is the purpose of front end? So what they are going to do is they are going to migrate from let's say SQL Server database to DB. Let's to AWS Azure storage. So that means you are transferring the data from the old database to the new DB. Means Your front end may not change, but your back end keeps on changing. This happens for banking applications, mostly for banking application. Why means front end, who will use a bank front end? Employees only will use, right? Bank employees will only use the banking products, right? Okay, customer front end is different. Mostly in the bank employees only will be using it, right? So why they
Hello.
do, they will not change the front end. Again, it is a price involved, right? They can manage with front end, but back end they will change. Why? Because accessing should be faster, it it should be secure, it should be scalable. As the number of records increases, it is difficult to manage your data, right? So they will be changing back end. Some people will change front end also. So as part of migration testing, what you will do is, once a system is changed, right, you have to test whether it is working properly or not. So these are all the advantages of this. I'm deviating from the topic. Exploratory testing means, as part of migration, you are moving from the old system to the new system, and you may not have that requirements. Old system requirements may not be there. So you need to explore the application by yourself and start analyzing it and testing it. That is called as exploratory testing. Okay, you have one more concept called as dedicated support. Let's say you have purchased this tool. Okay, you means your company has purchased this tool and you started working, you started testing some application. Suddenly you got one error. Okay, and you are not able to fix that error. You need not worry, you have to call them. For example, you purchased a fridge stopped working. You will fix it or you will call the customer care? Yes or no?
We'll call customer care.
You will call customer care. Same thing here also. You have purchased this Tosca tool. You started writing some testing code, some script, or you have started writing, and it is not behaving properly. You can raise a support ticket. Okay, within 24 hours they will reply to your message. That is a benefit. So companies need not wait. If it is Selenium, right, there is no dedicated support because it is an open source. So this is where company will get advantage. CI integration. Any idea what is continuous integration? Continuous. Okay, this is a very big topic. I would like to discuss it later, but I like you to tell it in very short format. What is continuous integration means? Basically, without without any manual intervention, develop, developed code should be deployed, okay, into an environment, and it should be tested, and the result should be given to the customer. What do you mean by this? For example, as a developer, I'm writing one functionality. Let's say name change is one functionality. Where I'll write this functionality, I'll write using one software called as Visual Studio or Eclipse. I'll write this functionality. Okay. After writing this functionality, I have to place this file in one location. You cannot place this file in your local hard disk, right? Yes or no? In IT company, nobody is going to
Yes.
place the files in local hard
Hardware.
disk. They are going to maintain one repository. This repository is managed by a tool called as version control tool, which is called as a Git repository. Most of the time they'll go with the Git repository only. So whenever you write a code, you are going to place that code in one particular location. Okay. No, so how do you push the how do you send the code to that location? Transferring the data from the local system to the remote repository is called as push. The term they are using it, you have a button called as push. When you click on push button, whatever code is available in the local system, it will be transferred to the remote repository. Okay, so and this process is called as check-in. Okay, the process of sending data from the local system to the remote repository is called as check-in. So they will have a trigger point. Trigger point means whenever a developer does a code check-in, okay, what it should do is it should build that code. It should build that particular code, and once you build that particular code, what is the output of that code? Either it will be a web URL or it will be an exe file, right? That file should be deployed in a server. Okay, after deployment it should run some basic test, and it should give that report to the end user or the customer. Based on that report, customer means, for example, if you are developing an application for ICICI Bank, ICICI Bank manager will he's called the product owner. Actually, he's not called as a bank manager. He's called as a product owner. That report will be sent to the product owner. Product owner will decide whether to push this change to the production or not. Okay, everything should happen without manual intervention. This process is possible with continuous integration. That is called a CI. It is called a CI/CD, continuous integration and continuous delivery. This all so Tosca supports this. That is what it is saying. Okay, Jira integration. Jira is one of the project lifecycle management tool which we'll be using as part of the application. This I'll be teaching you later. So why should you go for Tosca? Means it is supporting all these features. Now the next question is
I'm
what I want to
sorry
discuss.
to
Yeah,
disturb you. Just
yeah,
this. I'm getting
yeah. Tell me.
sometime audio disturbance. Is this happening for everyone or only for me? I'm sorry.
Audio disturbance in the sense,
Audio disturbance I'm getting actually. Sometimes
maybe
your
you
voice
can
is
try to
getting mute.
voice is getting mute. Okay, not sure.
Now also.
Uh, Now also it is mute.
Yes,
Okay.
again. Is this happening
Maybe
to others also?
No, for me
Let
it
me
is
read.
fine.
No.
maybe you can rejoin Srinivas.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
you
I'll
can
do
rejoin.
that. Currently on, currently
Don't
on
you?
sorry, yeah.
Yeah, don't use the web version. Use the desktop version of the GoToMeet meeting. It
Yeah,
is more
desktop version only I'm using. I'm using desktop version only.
okay.
Let me
Now,
relog in. Just give me a second, please.
sure. So this is about the tool. Okay, this is about the tool. How to install this tool. There are different sections in this tool. Okay, don't worry. Today I'm telling only the high level background. What this tool is about and all these things. But later, once we have a batch, right, we are going to discuss all these things, what it supports and all this. So look at this diagram. If somebody asks you why should you learn Tosca, second, let me take this. If somebody asks you why should you learn Tosca, means it supports all these things. It supports risk-based testing. It supports test management. It supports manual testing. It is used for analytics, exploratory testing, API testing, and continuous integration, big data, test data management, load testing, impact analysis, and service virtualization. So this is what the Tosca supports. How it does all these things, we'll be learning as part of the course. Okay. Now the question here is, why should we learn this course from me, or why should you learn the course from Visualpath? Okay, the advantage, see, there are many videos are also available in YouTube, and there are many sites like Udemy where you can also get the knowledge. But advantage what you get is we will be sharing the complete system. When I talk about Tosca, right, I can directly go to Tosca and show you the features of Tosca. I have not done this. Why? Because I want to teach you the complete system. When you join an organization, right, you may work on a Tosca tool or any other tool which is available in the market, but the process and the concept will not change. If you look at the evolution, right, it's any automation tool started with QTP. Okay, then you have UFT. Okay, then you have Selenium, and then you have Tosca. If you know the concept, right, how an automation works, okay, you can easily align, or you can easily change to any tool on your job. That part will helping you out. We'll be telling you, oh wow, how this API will work, and we'll be giving you some real-time scenarios, and we'll be telling you what do you mean in by DevOps, or what do you mean by cloud. This diagram, and you may not get it when you are directly referring to this, like something like that person may not, there is some boundary there when they talk about Tosca, right, they have to teach only about Tosca. But here we will take you the total journey, like once you get into a job, what is expected from a test engineer. From that level will take you and will place you so that your foundation would be strong. In future, Tosca will come or some other tool will come, but the core process, right, that process and foundation will give you, which will not change for any tool. That will be common for any tool. So this is what I want to tell you on a high level. So the version which I'm using is 14.2. Okay, how do you get that information? So once you are trying to launch, I'm closing this tool. It's a very heavy tool. This is a tool, Tosca Commander. There are many things in this, like you have Tosca Wizard, Executor, Enabler, Tosca license form, everything is there. But our focus is on only Commander, because this is the place where you write your test cases, where you execute your test. See, look at the version. Version is 14.0. Okay, the latest version available in the market is 15. Industry is using 13 only. Okay, because they don't upgrade just like that. Again, they need to change all the existing scripts. Industry using only 13. And one advantage in one simple line, if you want to say why should I learn Tosca, Tosca is becoming popular in the market. The competition is less when compared to Selenium, and it is also easy to learn, and it is an expensive tool. When I say an expensive tool, small organizations will not be using this tool. Okay, only big organization can afford this tool. So what is the advantage I get means, when you join a big organization, right, the culture difference would be different. Like they'll be working on big projects, their customers would be big, so you will get an opportunity to work on banking side, or you'll be getting an opportunity to work on the insurance domain, which we generally will be given to the big clients, like big service sector organizations like TCS or HSBC, or let's say ICICI. For these type of things you'll be working on. But when you take a free tool in the market, right, anybody can enter, since it's open source, right? Anyone who is developing an online shopping cart also, right, they can also start a business, and they can also do it. One advantage you get of doing Tosca is entry is easy. Why? Because the competition is less. Second thing is, it is not that tough when you are comparing with Selenium. Third thing is, very big organizations start using it, so you get an opportunity to work in big organizations. This is what I want to conclude from my side. I couldn't talk much about Tosca due to the time constraint, but once we have this detailed course, right, it is a 35 hours course. We will be recording the sessions, and also we'll be sharing the recordings to you. If you miss some class, right, we can help you out. Now the time for you to ask the question. That's the reason why I asked in the starting why you want to join this course. Okay, now it's time for you to ask the questions. If you have any questions, let me know. I am here to clarify. Any questions?
Yeah.
Yeah. Vidya,
Yeah, tell me.
yeah,
So
go on, Pratisha.
someone is
Pratisha, go on.
okay. Okay. So it's I am very new actually. I'm MPharmacy and I have 5 years of experience there. Is it
Mhm.
okay if I move? I mean, how is the future for me? Is it right step now to take this?
See, one thing I can tell you, here the scope is more. When it comes to IT industry, when you are comparing with pharmacy, right? For the scope of getting job is more. Okay, and also the salaries are good. And when it comes to IT, right, the easy way to enter into the IT is through testing. Let me tell you. So ideally, if you are putting some effort, you can easily crack a job in IT industry. It's not a big deal. And with the current market situation, right, IT industry is booming like anything, and without testing, you cannot release any project. Okay, if you're looking at development, right, you have to stick to one technology. Like either you have to go with Salesforce, or you have to go with Java, or you have to go with .NET or Python. But when it comes to testing, right, with one tool you can test all these technologies. That is the advantage you get.
Okay, so uh, can I just start with this Tosca itself? I mean, how should I build up for moving into
See,
testing?
directly into Tosca, maybe bit challenge, but I will be helping you some manual testing part. So once you learn manual testing, then you can easily convert into automation.
Oh, okay, okay. Thank you.
Fine. The next question, please.
Yeah, Vidya, this is Srinivas.
Yes, Inus.
See, I'm already into IT industry and I'm having 5 plus years of experience in SAP functional testing
Hmm.
with different modules. So,
Okay,
like as you told this, in coming days and these days, like I see Tosca is going to boom a lot. But my question is like, as I'm into SAP world, like most of the friends or managers or projects, they are telling that this is mostly user friendly to SAP. Is this only
correct, correct.
good with SAP application or like
No, no,
any
no,
other applications as well?
no, no, no. I'll tell you the background here. See, when they developed the Tosca
Sorry, I
tool, right?
joined 50, sorry, I joined 15, 20 minutes late actually. I'm
Okay,
sorry for
not an
that.
issue. So when you're talking, see, when somebody introduce a tool, right? When it will become popular, it will become popular only when it has some special feature, right? For example, you
Yes,
take Geo. Geo enter the market very late. Okay,
yes, yes,
you have big players like Airtel was there, and Vodafone was there, Idea was there, and then you have BSNL also. When you enter into
yes,
the market, everything collapsed, right? They have conquered the complete market. It is very difficult to find a person without a Geo phone, Geo SIM. Agree?
true, 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 true.
How did they capture the market? Because they provided the best service at the cheapest price. Correct? Yes or no? Do you
Yes,
agree with that point?
yes, yes,
So
100%.
similarly, Tosca also thought in the same manner. See, before Tosca entered into the market, right? They had very big players like UFT was there, Catalan Studio was there, Microsoft TFS was there, Visual Studio. So if you
Yeah,
want to compete with them, okay, when a person is already using UFT, he has invested some millions of dollars on UFT. It is very difficult for them to change from UFT to Tosca. Correct? Agree? Because they have
yes,
spent some
yes,
money, right? Let's say SAP only. They have employed some people on SAP, and they have started working on 3 to 4 years projects are there. Now, if you want to convince such type of customer, that's very difficult. He'll say, why should I move? I will hire a person who knows testing, that my job is end result. Why should I hire? He'll say, customer will say. Correct?
yes,
Then Tosca has come up with a plan. They have I analyzed the market, which or what all big companies are using. If you analyze the market, all bigger companies use ERP packages. Okay,
yes, true,
all big
true.
companies use ERP packages, and number one package is SAP. And if coming to the cloud, the number one package is Salesforce. Salesforce.
Yes, yes.
Okay, they've analyzed
Oh,
that these two are the number one in the market. If I provide an extra plugin and testing this software with this plugin, if I make the life easy, right, then I can attract customer. That means,
okay.
let's say you are on a SAP, let's say FICO or some other module you are working on. There is a
Yes.
plugin in Tosca. Using that plugin, if you install that plugin, if you open a SAP page, right, all the controls on the SAP page will come and sit in a section called as a module section.
In
Okay,
Tosca.
in Tosca.
Okay.
Okay, similarly with Salesforce also. That means you need not put effort in identifying the control. See, most
Okay.
of the time will be spent on identifying the control only, right? Once you know the control, you perform some operation on that control. Yes or no?
Yes. True, true.
That
Yes. Yes.
that effort has been reduced. In that way, this has become a closely integrated with SAP application. So whenever you have a SAP project, 90% of the time they'll be going with Tosca only. That is the
Yeah.
advantage.
That's what. Yes.
You look any SAP, they'll prefer Tosca as a tool.
True, true. Yeah, yeah. That is what I am hearing from last 2+ years, and I'm also planned to certify that do the certification AS1 and AS2,
Yeah, that's a
automation
good
specialist
question.
one and yeah,
That's a good
automation
question.
specialist one and
I
yeah,
forgot to this point with the members. So
yeah.
there is a certification also available in Tosca. There are 6 certifications actually.
Yes, totally six is there. Yes, you are right. Uh, I'm planning for the first two actually.
One second, let me show you.
Yeah, please.
See, this is what we have. You have to start with something called as AS1 and AS2, which is
Yeah.
Automation Specialist 1 and Automation Specialist 2. This is generally for people who are experience range of 2 to 5. Okay. And
Yes.
even
Yes.
this you can learn. Next one is TD1 and TDS1 and TDS2, which is test case. And I was telling that there is a separate feature called as test data management. When I'm talking about Tosca, right, there is a feature called as test data management. For this also, you have certifications, okay, which is called as test design specialist 1 and test design specialist 2.
Yes.
Then you have one more thing called as AE1 and AE2, which is
Yeah.
automation engineer 1 and automation engineer 2. And there is one more final certification called architect. I told you, right, 5% of coding is only there in Tosca. Rest all 95% is scriptless. That for that 5% of code, if you want to write, you need to do a certification called as architect certificate. Okay. Apart from this, there are some specialists also, like Q test is one specialist, API is one specialist. Okay. Tosca integration developer, like specialist certifications are also there. Once you take this course, right, you can easily clear AS1, AS2, AE1, AE2. You can easily clear these 4 certifications. Yeah.
So here, I'm just curiosity. I'm asking, like, can I do without AS1, AS2? Can I do directly AE1, AE1,
No, no,
like
no.
that, AE2?
No, no, no. No, no. You cannot do it because it is a flow. You have to follow that flow.
Okay.
You can do it means you can do it, but
Yeah,
you'll
that's
not be
what.
able to understand. Understand.
No,
You have to go
because
as
why
per
I'm
the
asking
flow.
this question is like, yeah, because why I'm asking this question is like in my, I'm going to join some new company. Look, there I got like a test lead
Hmm.
designation. So I just wanted to go the down one. Can you go down next one? Next, can
One
you go
second.
down? At automation specialist, the beginner and the
Yeah,
intermediate. I can see that.
correct.
I'm just planning, yeah, down one. Yeah, so that's why is I'm able, is I, like I can go to that or not? That's what my question
See,
actually. So we need to
the
do,
hierarchy is like this: AS1, AS2, which is for beginners.
yeah.
Then it is AE1, TDS1, and TDS2, and then it is advanced.
Okay. So AE1, TDS1, TDS2, all three is for 44 hours, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. And one more question. I'm sorry. I'm taking if I'm taking more time. Do we compare anywhere somewhere we can compare with Tosca and Worksoft?
No.
Any
Both
relation or
are.
any difference like
Yeah.
some difference?
People also
Any?
use Worksoft, but it is completely different. It is not in scope
Okay,
of
fine
this
then.
training actually. Worksoft is completely
Yeah.
different.
Yes. And also Worksoft is going to be they are going to close that. I heard
Decommission
and
it.
I saw.
Yeah, they are going to decommission it, and you will not be getting further things on Worksoft. It is going to be overcome by Tosca.
Yeah, 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 that's what I heard actually.
Yeah. See, I'm telling you, right, the packages are almost double. Like if you are comparing a Selenium tester package and Tosca tester, right? Why it is double means demand and supply ratio only. Work is same. Whether you are working on Salesforce or whether you are working on Tosca, right? The effort you put is same. Okay. But advantage is employers are not able to identify people on Tosca, but they can easily get people on Selenium. Why? Because Selenium is in the market for more than 12 years now. But if you look at Tosca, right, hardly they get people. And where client is using this tool. And one more thing, it is very easy to learn Tosca. But Tosca interview would be tough. It will not be that easy because they can easily identify who is real time and who is fake. They can easily identify. There's a lot of difference by looking at YouTube videos. Also, you can learn Tosca. I'm not saying that you cannot learn Tosca, but the real time questions what you face, right? That is a benefit of what we are giving it. Otherwise, we cannot survive in the industry, because if you look at YouTube, right, everything you will get, whatever I'm teaching, right, that is also available in YouTube. But where you get the plus point is how to face a real-time scenario. I'll be sharing my experiences, what I've encountered while I'm doing a job. That things you will not get it outside. That is the only difference. Yeah.
Yeah,
Any other
hello.
questions? Yeah, tell me.
Yeah, is it mandatory for certification?
It is mandatory means yes, that will add a value. Because if you simply say I know Tosca, then nobody will believe you. Okay, if you have a certificate, they will believe you.
Yeah, as I heard, like if you get at least 1 year experience, good experience, then cracking certification is not a big deal actually, to be honest. It's
See,
a bit of,
certification. If you know the concept, you can crack the certification. It's not
yeah,
1 year
that's
or
what.
2 years experience.
Yeah.
And when you're working on an or when you're working on a project, right, you may not use all the concepts, but exam will
Mm.
ask you all the concepts.
True, true, true.
Yeah.
Yeah. We can this is not, this is open source, or like how it is like.
No, it is a paid tool. It's not open source. It is developed using .NET, and right now
Yes.
certification is free. Tosca
Yeah, yeah,
certification is a
certification.
free of cost. You do not pay any money for certification.
Yes, yes, cool. Yeah. And
So
this
wait,
will support web application as well, right? Web applications
Not
as well.
only web application, it supports 300 technologies.
Oh my God. Okay. Yeah.
I can show you one point PowerPoint. Yeah, any other questions?
about this certification, I can't do this one, right?
Why?
No, I mean, am I eligible to do certification? That is, sorry, I
See,
have to reframe the question.
okay. The beauty of IT is anybody can enter into IT. It's not like civil or
Oh,
electrical. Like if you want to work in construction, right, you should have a civil engineering degree. Otherwise, they'll not hire you.
yeah,
If you want to work as electrical engineer, right, you should have an electrical engineer degree. Otherwise, they'll not hire you.
yeah,
When it comes to
exactly.
IT, right, they will hire anybody. They want work to be done. See,
Okay,
there's a lot of work in the industry. Okay, they want people. If they say I want only computer science engineer, then they will lose money from the customer.
yes,
They will
yes.
see your attitude, whether I
Okay,
can train this person or not, whether he's
oh,
having that capability to learn and implement. Why? Because over a 10 years of period of time, many things will come and go. See, I started my career in 2005. Okay,
okay,
then I was working on ASP. Now nobody is
okay,
using ASP. Okay, now everybody is working on microservices. The tool or the concept will change for every 5 years, no doubt.
okay.
But the process is there, right? That process will not change. For example, when you are logging a defect, okay, the defect can be logged in Jira, the defect can be
Mm-hmm.
logged in Quality Center, ALM, or Rally, whatever tool you take, right?
Mm-hmm.
There are different fields in that tool, but the
Okay,
concept, how, what you log, what information you enter. For example, whenever I'm logging a defect, I give the name of the defect, steps to reproduce the defect, environment, priorities. This will not change. Process will
okay,
not change. Tools will come and go.
okay. Yes, yes, correct.
Okay. For
So,
example, if you're taking a car driving
okay,
is same, right? Versions will come, models will come and go. That's it.
yes, yes. So even I can write this certification, right? Like,
Anybody who is a graduate can write the certification,
okay, okay, thank you.
irrespective of the domain.
Okay, okay. So there is no need of work experience and all.
Work experience should be there.
That's
It,
what
it
I
is
am
good
asking.
for writing course. You don't require work experience. For joining organization, you require work experience.
Ah, that I'm asking about certification because
Cert-
joining, I'm not
certification,
sure how it goes.
Certification you don't
certification,
need, I guess.
Okay, okay, thank you.
certification. Anybody can do. There's no
Okay, okay,
and work experience also we provide it, but there's a different process for it. For people who don't have any experience in IT company, we provide work experience for them, and that's a different thing. Maybe I'll talk it later once you
okay.
join and complete the course.
Sure, sure. Thank you so much.
Anything else from anyone? Yes, no. Okay, then bye. I'm closing the call. Have a good day.